Hey you, I need your help for a second. So, real quick, I'm about to make this purchase on Amazon, but I need you to help me make sense of something. So, I see that we have Richard Mille, toilet paper, and hand sanitizer. What do all these have in common? So, Richard Mille, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Let me explain to you. It's like your credit score being bad or not where it should be. So, you're gonna always spend more money on things than you should. And right now, all these products are overpriced. So, what I wanna show you in this video is 6 simple ways that I used to increase my credit score from 717 to 797 in a matter of 12 months. Stay tuned. What's up, my people? So let's get straight to it. So as I stated before, I went from 717 to 797. I'm not gonna really focus on that because the majority of people, 70% of people watching this video are at this range. So they're at like 650 to 717. And to be honest, going from here to here was very easy. It was going from here to here that was very difficult. So if you could get this down pat on the strategies that I'm about to show you, going from here to here would be a piece of cake. And so a lot of times people focus on the tip. You know, and depending on who you talk to, some people like to just focus on the tip. But I'm gonna dig deep and go into where the problem really lies. That way you can fix it and use these strategies to increase your credit score. All right, so the first thing is you wanna go on freecreditreport.com. And I'll put the link at the bottom or in the comments or something. But you wanna go to freecreditreport.com. The reason being is they give you the 3 full reports for each credit bureau. So TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and you can do that once a year for free. And this is your holy grail to figure out what went wrong. If somebody took out a credit card in your name, somebody stole your identity, if you have something that went to collections that you were unaware of, you can also, use that to be able to determine it. And when you hire somebody to do your credit, that's gonna be the first thing that they try to do anyway. So that's major key. So the second thing is once you get your credit report, you wanna go to a bank of your choice and open a secured credit card. The reason why you wanna open a secured credit card is because it increases your credit score and it's a guaranteed way to get a credit card, right? So like a lot of times if you go and try to just apply for the one I showed you earlier, like the Chase Sapphire, you won't necessarily get approved. And so now you had a hard inquiry on your credit, it stays on there for 2 years, and whereas you can just get a secured credit card, almost guarantees you a credit card. And the whole purpose of a secured credit card is they use your money as collateral. So that's why the banks don't mind doing it, because they have you as the backup. You basically borrowing against yourself. So let's say you put $1,000 in there, you don't want that limit to go past $300 a month, because that's about 30%. So you want to keep it at less than 30%. So I would spend it on like gas and just miscellaneous stuff and just pay it off every month. Treat it as a debit card, but just know in your mind it's a credit card that you have to physically pay it off. All right. So that's the second thing. And after 6 months, what I would suggest you do is roll it over into a unsecured credit card, because that's when you start to get the perks and you start to get all the cashback benefits of having a credit card. Like for me personally, I generate an extra $50 to $100 a month just using my credit card, because I tell people all the time, use the banks. Don't let the banks use you, because they're using people all day, every day. That's how they make money, by you having your money in the system. But use them. Make them pay you every month for using your card. That's the real way to do it. Don't end up paying them interest for giving you access to capital. That's not playing it smart. So that's another thing. And that's easily, $600 to $1,200 a year just off of using my credit card. So I just put that in Alina's account, So that's the second one. The third one is you want to use your free credit report to handle anything that's in collections, because collections, they weigh in heavy on your credit report, but the bulk of your credit report is these 2 things right here. So I'm gonna write it right here. So it's payments, and the other one is like debt amount. So the amount of debt that you have. And payments, I believe, is 35%. I might be getting mixed up. And debt is 30%. So that's 65%. That's 2/3 of your credit score is payments and debt. So don't be late with your payments if you can. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. One time I was going through hard times when I, because I financed my second car, and I had to ask for like a grace, and they let me have a month free without having to pay. But you have to ask, and it's all about asking and negotiating and situation to situation. We're going through some crazy times right now, so that may be an option for some of y'all. So that way you don't have that mark on your credit that's very negative, and it's very hard to shake back from when you have a late payment because it weighs so heavy on your overall score. So that's another option. The fourth thing is you may want to ask somebody if you could be a authorized user. So maybe your auntie, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your friend that you really trust or they really trust you. You can have them add you as an authorized user. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that the credit is A1 because you don't want to just be on anybody's stuff. But the good thing is you get their history from day one. So all the history that they've generated, you automatically get that by being on their credit card. So that's major. Now, by doing that, you can move faster. You can maybe get from 717 to 797. That's an easy way to do it if you have that. But that's a hard option because you gotta, like I said, it's not just you. You have to have a teammate that's willing to take that risk with you. So maybe you can throw them some collateral on the side if shit hits the fan. All right. So the fifth thing is you wanna. I've already stated it, but I'll restate it. Is you want to avoid the late payments because I kind of got off on a tangent, but this is very important. And I want to reiterate it because a lot of times people think that this isn't important. They think like having hits on your credit. Yeah, like having hits on your credit isn't good, but it's not weighted as heavy as you missing a payment or you having a high debt ratio, which brings me to my next point. So when you have a credit card, this is what I do. Like every 6 months I'll call because they have it to where you can do it organically or they'll ask you to just like run your social to get a hard inquiry. So what I'll do is I'll just be like, hey, can I get a credit increase? Because if you have, I'll just use this for the sake of the example. If your credit limit is $1,000 on your card, well, you really can only spend about $300 before it gets, before you get over that 30%. But if you have $10,000 on your credit card, then you could spend $3,000 and it still looks the same. So that's why it's very, very important to ask for a credit increase. So those credit increases are a major key, and I want y'all to understand that. So the last thing that I'll say is with the increase, you want to do it as often as you can and try to negotiate that because that'll increase your score. Because if you only spent 300 out of 10,000, that's not even, what is that? That's not even 1%. So your credit is looking A1 to the credit score and you're a low risk. So you want to borrow something, they'll give you whatever you want and you'll get the best interest rate. And that's the major key too about having a great credit score because if not, you'll have a high interest rate. You'll have to probably put more money down. And again, you'll always spend more money than you have to. It's a game. So I travel a lot. I invest in the sales products. I invest in the marketing products. Well, I put a lot of this stuff on my credit card because for one, I get the points. For two, I don't have to pay it right back. So if I could flip it and make my money back in 30 days, I didn't even have to touch my money in my bank account. I just used somebody else's money, OPMs, and recreated that money out of thin air from learning a skill, and then I brought it right back. So that's the benefit of having access to a lot of capital. So you want to get your credit limit as big as you can, but you just have to be disciplined not to use it because the majority of people owe interest every month because they just aren't disciplined. But that's another video. That's another topic for another day. But I want y'all to understand that this is the key to outliving the coronavirus, being ahead of the pack and staying afloat when you go through a tough time like this. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tag somebody, make sure you comment what you got out of it, like which step did you like the most, which step helped you out the most. And last but not least, if you haven't subscribed, I think I said that, but if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.